Welcome back to Anointed to Bling, everyone. It's Rein here once again with another installment to my wedding vlog series. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. I hope that you'll stick around, subscribe, and share me with a friend. If you're a returning viewer, I thank you tremendously for your support and appreciate you for joining me on yet another tutorial where today we are talking about this stunning vase that you see in front of you. Now, I do apologize when I edit in iMovies, it tends to letterbox, so you don't get the full height when things are taller, so a little bit of that is out of frame. Nevertheless, if you want to find out how I made this absolutely gorgeous, very tall vase out of using mostly Dollar Tree and 99-cent store items that cost me about $7 to make, stay tuned for the tutorial. Guess what? It's coming up right now. So to get started, here's what you need. I have this bling wrap that I actually purchased from Amazon.com for about $11. You need some really good scissors, guys, to cut off those strings when you cut that bling. These are hair scissors, which are really sharp and really awesome. I am making more than one vase, so you definitely need some candle holders. Per vase, you're going to use about 2 candle holders. And then I got these pots at the 99-cent store in the plant section, as well as these vases that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, these are not the tall ones. These are the shorter, thicker ones. And then there is the epoxy that you need. I have a mixing spoon and a tray that I use, as well as my leveler to make sure that things even out very nicely. So jumping right in here, the first thing I wanted to do was plan how I wanted to design my glass. So I cut about 8 strips of bling for the top portion of the glass and about 4 strips of bling for the bottom. I'm sorry that that's a little bit out of frame here, thanks to the letterboxing, but that was my pattern. Of course, you're welcome to do whatever pattern you like. Alright, so now that my glasses are nice and blinged out, which I actually did off camera, on camera here I have mixed the epoxy, and what I'm doing is just running that epoxy along the opening of that potted plant vase, and I'm going to place that on top of that glass, and you want to make sure that you get that nice and centered, and to be sure to watch it so that it doesn't slide. So once I'm sure that that has set and it's nice and still and it's not going to move, I'm mixing a little more of that epoxy, and I'm just going to take that and spread it over the top portion of that candle holder. Now, I'm using a round candle holder, which is good for this project. If you've ever bought these, then you'll know some of them come in like an octagonal shape, and though I did use a couple of those for the rose gold ones that you'll see later, I found that the circle ones were better, and they're going to fit inside of that pot really nicely. So once I've got a good base on there, as you see, I'm just sitting that on top, and it takes a little bit of work to make sure that you get that lined up. So you'll definitely want your leveler, because it may not sit flush. It may be a little awkward, but in order to get it straight, you may have to actually get it crooked to get it straight. And so you want to use your leveler to make sure you even it out. Sounded a little scary, but trust me, you'll understand if you build this on exactly what I am talking about as you work to level it out yourself. So here I'm putting a little bit more of that epoxy now on the bottom portion of that candle holder, and I'm just going to sit that once I have a good coat on there, on top of the candle holder that we just placed upside down on top of that pot. So you really want to get a good coat of that epoxy, not too much, because if you put too much, things are definitely going to slide, and you don't want things sliding and becoming uneven. So you want to make sure that when you place that on there, it is even. And with these candle holders, it's hit and miss because they're not all made equally. So again, it's a project that if you take it on, you're going to be a little bit frustrated, as I was here, but I did get that to even out. So it's just a matter of playing with it and making sure that things don't twist, bump, or slide. After about 30 minutes of standing there watching over it like a hawk, making sure that those candle holders didn't slide, I did go ahead and place the other pot on top of the candle holder that I placed in the last frame. Now, I did not do that on camera because I had a little bit of trouble getting that to sit flush. With these particular pots, you are going to have just a teeny bit of trouble because, again, those candle holders are not made equally, so you might have to wrestle with it a little bit to get it leveled. And here, after I've applied that epoxy, I am now finally putting that top glass on top of there, and on this part it sits pretty flush. The only thing you want to do is take your leveler and make sure that it's absolutely even. What I love about these projects is that when all is said and done, no matter how stressful, it always pays off. Please forgive me for it being a little out of frame. iMovie letterboxes, as I said earlier, so you're not really seeing the full height of this, but I love, love, love how these came out. It took a lot to make sure that these were level, but it was definitely well worth it. I took some rocks that I had left over from another vase project that I did a tutorial for. There'll be a link to that at the end of this video, and I decided to fill that top vase with those rocks and then just place black rose and one cream rose in them. So the possibilities with this are endless. You can put a candle in them. You can put a candle under the bottom, as I did with a little tea light that you'll see in just a second. You can make an arrangement. You can do just so many things with this particular vase. I had a lot of fun making this one, and I hope that if you make it, you'll tag me. I'd love to see your work and your ideas. Until next project, as always, it's been a blessing. Remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Don't keep me a secret. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next project, guys, be blessed. Have a great day.